Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to go ahead and pick some cards to see what's going on in this connection. How's your person feeling about you? What would they say to you? Where is this headed? And any other messages we can get from the cards here. Okay, so this is going to be you versus them reading. Like one pile is going to represent their energy, the other pile is going to represent your energy. And then we're going to go ahead and pick some oracle cards to see what the timings are, what's going to happen in the future, any sort of general messages. And of course, I also pick love oracle cards towards the end, so do stay tuned for that. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and introduce the piles. So on the very left here we have the rose quartz gua sha, the Barbie gua sha. In the middle we have here the black tourmaline moon crystal, and on the very right is pile 3, which is going to be represented by this green Jasper crystal. So go ahead and take a second to meditate upon the piles. Once you have done that, head over to the timestamps. You can also choose based on the angel numbers and the timestamps, or if there's any numbers you feel called to, drawn to, it's up to you, but do pick whatever resonates and pick based off of your intuition. Once you have done that, head over to the timestamps if you haven't already, and we will see you in your respective piles. Hi pile 1, welcome to your reading. You all picked this Barbie gua sha rose quartz. Okay, I feel like this definitely does count as a crystal. It's a literal crystal. I absolutely love the gua sha and rose quartz in general, so I feel like this is going to be a really good pile, a really good reading. And Barbie is like one of my favorite brands of all time. So yeah, how this is going to work is I'm going to be picking cards on their side and your side. This left side will represent their energy, right side will represent your energy. Okay, so or if you feel like at any point it's mixed up, like you feel like this side is your energy and that side's their energy, that's fine too. It's really up to you. How you want to interpret this reading. It may or may not resonate. Again, just take whatever resonates, leave what doesn't. This is just for entertainment purposes, okay? But yeah, I'm going to try to channel this as accurately as I can. And then I'm also going to go ahead and pick some oracle cards. And yeah, I have like 2 oracle card decks I want to use for this reading, the Moonology deck and then this Angel Answers deck, okay, which has like, one word like letters or a couple words, statements on them. So yeah, anyways, let's go ahead and get started with their reading. Let's go ahead and pick some cards on their side to see what's going on. I'm just going to go ahead and shuffle the cards, okay? Okay, there's a couple of cards that already fell out. That's what I'm going to be using for this reading here. Okay, so the first card we have here is the Emperor. That's really interesting. I'm getting that this person's really invested in building their empire, work, finances, career. Okay, I feel like this person is finally stepping up to their highest potential, especially when it comes to the more like material realm, and also like even in terms of personal development. Like the Emperor is someone who's a good leader, someone who really has their life together, someone who has direction, someone who knows how to lead. Okay, so I feel like this person is working on developing that within themselves. Maybe this person felt a little bit behind in life in some way, shape, or form, where they felt like they needed to increase their salary, or they just felt like they lacked authority and leadership in their own life, because maybe their whole life they were kind of just passive people and just listening to everyone and not doing what they actually wanted to do. So I'm seeing them stepping up to the plate. I feel like maybe if you wanted this person to be a little bit more proactive in this connection, maybe text you more, maybe do more. I feel like this person's just getting their life sorted out before they can really invest in this connection. Right now they're investing in themselves, because the Emperor does have to do with Aries, right? And Aries is that has to do with ascendant, the rising sign, self. Like, what does your self, what is the most important thing for self right now? What is the most important thing that they can do for themselves? Because the truth is, and obviously to each their own, but what I'm seeing here is that you can't pour from an empty cup. If you're investing in everyone else and you're catering to everyone else, what do you have left for yourself? So I feel like this person's trying to build up their personality, build up some sort of direction in their life, okay, so that they can be sure of what the next move is. And I feel like this is something that your connection with them has inspired them to do. I feel like they're really inspired by the Emperor energy that you may be tapping into in your own life. You have your own things going on, you have authority, direction, command over your own life, in some way, shape, or form, right? And this person's really inspired by that and really wants to integrate that into their own life. So yeah, that's something that I'm seeing here, and I feel like this is really going to be benefiting this connection overall, this connection with you, because sometimes, you know, people really lose themselves in a relationship because they're so codependent on other people's needs, you know, what they need, you know, what the other person wants. And I feel like, you know, there's this strong theme of individuality coming through in this reading. Like I said, you know, the ascendant, the rising, you know, this has to do with self and honoring yourself, honoring like your individuality and what you feel like, you know, you need to do for yourself. And you know, when you really do honor yourself, you're loyal to yourself, you're respecting your own needs, then that makes relationships a lot easier, right? Because then you realize like, okay, this person's in alignment with what I want, or they're not in alignment with what I want, right? Like when you don't you know, spend time on yourself and honoring your own needs, you might just be pulled in all these directions. You might, like, you know, really scatter your energy. You might be doing things just because, you know, you feel like you need to people please. And I feel like maybe this person did have those tendencies. And, you know, obviously, like when you're in a relationship, when you're in a dynamic with someone, you do need to, like, at some level maybe make some compromises, right? Or maybe that's a limiting belief, but it's like, what do you and this person want to build together? What do the both of you, when you come together, what's your energy like, right? But when you don't have a strong foundation for self, when you don't know who you are, when you can't be independent, when you're constantly so codependent on other people, that can, you know, again, that can steer you into, like, you know, directions. It can spread yourself thin, and it can even like lead to resentment. Wow, like I spent so much time, you know, in this relationship just catering to this other person because I didn't have a strong sense of independence or individuality. And I'm seeing that, you know, right now this person's kind of really tapping into those themes within themselves. Okay, and that's not to say that, like, you know, if you're individualistic, like you just have to be a lone wolf and alone all the time. But again, like when you have like some sense of like strong, like, okay, like this is what I want for my life, right? And this is what I really, you know, I'm prioritizing right now. You'll attract people that are in alignment with that way of thinking. And that's what this person's doing right now. I feel like this person, because they're spending some time to themselves, they're becoming sure of themselves, you know, they're going to be able to pour into this connection and invest into this connection while making it seem like, you know, it's something that they really want to do. So I'm seeing that if this person comes back after this period of, you know, separation, that means they really want to be in this connection. That means, you know, they're so you know, sure of what they want. You know, the Emperor does have the sense of like, you know, I'm sure I want this, to the point where, like, you know, it's just going to feel really easy. It's going to feel smooth sailing. It's not going to feel like, you know, some weird codependent thing. Like, you'll have your own things going on, but when you come together, it's going to be you know, like a force of nature. Like when the both of you combine your energies, it's just going to be so like smooth sailing, and like, yeah, like this is what I really want. Like this person's gonna, like, you know, be able to give a lot more than maybe they did in the past because they're spending some time to themselves. And I'm seeing that they're really missing you in this you know, at this point in time, they really do miss being with you, but they also do have to honor themselves. And I'm seeing that maybe that's something that you might also be relating to right now. Like, what is it that you want, you know, putting your needs first, right? And again, like when you do that, when you really, like, you know, tap into that self-love, that self-concept, you attract people, you attract things that are in alignment with that new self-concept, with that, you know, higher way of being. And that's what I'm seeing is happening right now. That doesn't mean you're going to be, you know, lonely for the rest of your life or single for the rest of your life or whatever, right? But maybe this is the period where you're supposed to, like, really just figure out, like, your own needs and priorities. Okay, so this is actually a blessing in disguise if you are in some sort of separation. We do have here the Ace of Swords. Okay, even the way that I just like like pulled this card, it, like, I got this energy of swiftness, sharpness, clarity, thinking clearly. Okay, and aces represent new beginnings, like thoughts, thinking, mental clarity. So I really do feel like this person's going to come forward and communicate with you. I feel like this person does want to, like, you know, start up something with you, you know, start a fresh, start anew. Okay, but I feel like this time around, you know, they're going to be clear about their boundaries. They're going to set some boundaries, or I feel like, you know, boundaries were something that came up in this connection. They were an issue. Maybe this person kind of, like, you know, made you feel uncomfortable in some ways in terms of your boundaries. Or maybe I feel like this person said something. This person may have said something that kind of triggered you, because, like, Ace of Swords has to do with communication and clarity. And I feel like if this person was saying words that, like, you know, really you're just like, what is, like, why are you saying this? I feel like this person's, oh my gosh, bird just flew by. It was like either a raven or a crow. Yeah, but like this person's going to be careful about their words and how they're communicating with you, and they're not going to say things that trigger you. I feel like this person is gaining clarity on how to, like, you know, be in a relationship and the right things to say without offending the person in front of you, because I feel like this person may have said things like, you know, not to offend you, but it was just kind of like a slip up, right? Like sometimes people do that. We all make mistakes. Maybe you've done that as well. I've done that as well, right? And but this person's realizing like, wow, I really need to think before I talk, before I end up like hurting this person, because even though it might be a slip up on our end, like we might not realize like how much that impacts the other person, right? Like this is just one example, but like maybe let's say you're talking about someone and you accidentally like call them hot or attractive like in front of your partner, but that makes your partner feel uncomfortable. Like maybe this person did something, or maybe you felt like this person was kind of spreading their energy too thin, or like, you know, kind of like talking to a lot of people or something. I feel like there was some sense of like, you know, weird, like you felt uncomfortable with how this person was giving other people their energy, and like maybe there were some like jealousy issues that came up, and maybe you had to really set boundaries with this person, and this person's realizing that you were really valid in setting those boundaries, and like that this person did not actually need to do all of that, and this person's realizing like, wow, why did I ruin this relationship over like, you know, my negative habits or tendencies. Okay, so yeah, that's something that I'm seeing this person is definitely addressing within themselves. Okay, we do have here this High Priestess. I don't know where to put this card because I want it to show up. Maybe I'm gonna move my camera down. Okay, there we go. Yeah, we have here the High Priestess. So I really feel like this person's learned a lot from you, from your energy, and they're channeling you know, this energy within themselves. The High Priestess also to me deals with the astral realm, the dream realm, like you are in telepathic communication, and I feel like this person, like, you know, sees you as someone who is very, very like smart, mature, like you know what you want, and like you're not someone that can be played anymore. Like you're not someone that, like, you know, is going to settle. Okay, I'm seeing like this is your year of not settling. If something is not up to your standards, you're just going to be like, nope, this is not something that I want to do. This is not something that I want in my life. And because you're doing that, you're manifesting like a better version of this connection, of this person. Like, so I'm seeing here this person is trying to figure out like what they can offer you, what they can do to make your life better. They themselves are also tapping into this archetype within themselves, and, you know, being more intuitive and like honoring your feelings more. Okay, the High Priestess is someone who is very smart, like spiritually smart. She has this wisdom. She is really intuitive. She knows the right things to say. She's also very compassionate and caring, but you know, I associate, I feel like, you know, I'm getting Queen of Cups energy as well. Maybe you've given up a lot of your energy to this person, and this person's realized, like, you know, the sacrifices and things that, you know, you've made, and, you know, some of the boundaries that maybe, like, you know, they were not respecting as much, and, you know, they're realizing like, no, I need to be better. I need to you know, be smarter, be more wise. I'm just seeing like spiritual wisdom. Like this person is gaining a lot of like, you know, wisdom in the unseen, or maybe this person was really like psychic. Maybe they did understand like what you liked and didn't like, and they would try to, like, you know, improve the next time they saw you. Like if they know that, you know, they said something that, you know, was kind of like weird or offensive, or they kind of just like had a spur of the moment, like, you know how, again, like the whole slip up thing I was talking about. This person, like, I do feel like they had that intuition within them as to, like, you know, not say those things again. And I do feel like this person actually has some like spiritual or psychic abilities as well. I'm getting that they could be a water sign, or maybe I am getting like air sign energy as well, but I'm getting like Pisces, Cancer, Aries, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini placements, and Moon, Rising, Venus. Maybe this person had those placements. Okay, but I feel like this person's going to be honoring your feelings more, and being a little bit more careful about their words. Okay, right now I'm seeing here that this person definitely is observing you. They're definitely stalking you on social media, or I'm getting like something to do with, like, you know, the internet, or they're seeing if you're online or something, or they're looking back to text messages. Page of Swords I like to associate with like Mercury sometimes, or Gemini energy, and Mercury does have to do with, what do you call, technology. Like even Gemini energy, sometimes that has to do with like technology, social media, like the internet, right? So I am seeing that this person has been stalking you online, or looking back to your text messages, or maybe like pictures or something you sent them, but they are very like, I am getting like kind of like stalker energy on their part. They're trying to see what you're doing, what you're up to. They're trying to see if you've moved on, or if you're talking to other people. I am getting that sort of like curious energy from their side here, okay? So yeah, that's what we have here on their side. I'm going to go ahead and pick some cards on your side to see what's going on here. I am getting that this person wants to start things again. Like Page of Swords, I do feel like you're going to be hearing from them. They want to be the first to communicate with you, because we got the Ace and Page, okay? But the High Priestess, she's more of like a kind of passive card. Like, okay, I need to think about what I want to say first. Maybe you have been communicating through other realms, okay? And like this person just wants to make sure that they have something to offer you before they come forward, because I feel like right now maybe they know that you're kind of in this all or nothing mode. Like you can't really have a connection or friendship with this person unless this person's like fully committed to you, because I'm seeing that you're no longer wasting your time. Maybe you no longer believe in like, you know, being friends with exes, because maybe you tried that. Maybe you and this person did try doing that, but it just at the end of the day blew up because this person just was not up to your standards in terms of what they were offering. And you're at that point in your life where you're just like, no, I want to find my soulmate. I want to find that person, that partner who's really going to be there for me. And if they're not offering me, you know, me what I want at the full scale that I want it, I'm no longer wasting my time. And this person's really sensing that energy. They're really picking up on that energy, okay? So yeah, let's see what's going on your side here. Okay, we have here the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, Ace of Pentacles is all about a new beginning based on stability. I feel like this exactly corresponds to what I was saying. You want stability in your life. You are done with hot and cold, wishy-washy relationship. You're done with wasting your time and spending your time and energy on things that do not have some sort of like permanent or long-lasting outcome, okay? So I feel like you really do want something that's based on a strong foundation, stability. You want consistency, clarity, communication, okay? And you're very valid to want that. I'm seeing here with this Eight of Wands, I feel like there's a part of you that still like wants to hear from this person. I do feel like there's some sort of communication coming in, but you don't want it to be like, you know, like intermittent, or like, you know, like what's the word, like temporary communication. Like as much as you like, there's a part of you that really just craves like, you know, this person to like send you a text, like, hey, how are you? But you realize if it's not gonna like lead into something more, it's not really something you want, because you're tired of like, you know, just the hot and cold and the emotional inconsistency. You realize it's actually taxing on your nervous system, and that's not something that you're ever going to settle for ever again. We do have here the Six of Wands. So I do feel like, you know, you're setting yourself up to get the outcome that you really want. The Six of Wands is all about success, victory, achievements, you know, getting what you want, having, you know, something to like, having something tangible to show. Like, you know how sometimes people will post their couple pictures online and like the marriage, the engagement, the you know, like something tangible, right? Like maybe you're even refraining from posting anything until it's like permanent, because you do want that sense of permanency. I'm seeing that this person's really attracted to you. They're really passionate about you. They do want some sort of victory in this connection, but they're just not at that level where they can give you everything that you want, but they want to be there. They really want to show up for you. They also want that happily ever after, okay? But this person knows, like, I feel like the Six of Wands, like, look at the way that she's just sitting, like, you know, having like a, looking at herself in the mirror, like, you know, you're just very sure of what you want. Like, I'm seeing a little bit of vanity here, but in the best way possible. I feel like you're really, really upgrading your self-concept and no longer settling for anything, because you realize like maybe you are good at doing things alone. Whatever, like, you know, this person was giving, maybe you could have just done alone by yourself. So it's like if someone is coming into your life, they really have to add value to your life, or you're just not accepting it. And that is like the highest form of self-concept, and that is just amazing. That is like, you know, that's something that your ancestors, the universe, the people around you have wanted for you for the longest of, you know, for the longest time. That's what your higher self is communicating to you, that hey, do not settle for like, you know, wishy-washiness. Do not settle for anything that is not up to your standards, that is going to be wasting your time and just leaving you feeling drained, okay? And I'm feeling that all of that is in the past. That's no longer going to be a thing. You're, you know, manifesting aligned connections, aligned friendships, aligned people, aligned relationships that are really going to like, you know, be up to your standard, and you're not negotiating. You're not negotiating with yourself, with the universe. You have certain standards, and I feel like this person's really feeling that energy. What I'm seeing is that this person is like understanding your like worth, your caliber, the value, everything that you bring to the table, and they realize that, okay, if I'm not up to that, then they're not going to get any of your energy, because the energy that you have is so valuable. I'm actually seeing that, you know, when this person and you decided to separate, because I'm seeing there is some sort of separation or no contact going on, when you pulled back your energy from them, they felt that decline. They felt that loneliness. They felt that like, you know, surge of like just, you know, sadness, and like they realized they were benefiting a lot from your energy, from your, you know, whatever you were giving them, whatever value you were providing to them. And they realized that in itself was enough for them to like, you know, give you everything that you want, because the energy that you give them, they're not going to get that from anyone else. They can try, but they're not, because like maybe you did overgive a little bit, but I feel like this person did make up for that, or they want to make up for that. But yeah, I'm seeing that you are this person for a lot of people. When you pull back your energy, when you call back your energy from certain places, whatever, like, you provide so much value, and when you do that, it's like they literally feel, some sort of like negativity in their life happen because of that, because they were benefiting so much from your energy, and now you're being really careful about who and what you're giving your energy to. Okay, I don't know why that made me crack up. Okay, we have here the Four of Wands. Okay, this is all about wedding, celebration, marriage, success, happiness. Okay, so I feel like, again, everything that you're doing, you are literally gearing yourself up for that happily ever after that you're seeing so many people around you have. Okay, we're getting a lot of fire energy on your part here. Also earth energy. I'm seeing Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. Maybe you have these placements on Moon, Rising, Venus, but I'm really seeing here that like you're gonna have a happily ever after, and you have nothing to worry about, and you're on the right track. If you're working on upgrading your self-concept, even if you feel a little bit lonely right now, you are doing right by yourself. You are honoring yourself. Your ancestors are proud of you. Everyone's proud of you, and things are about to get so much better for you, and you're gonna get that outcome that you really want. And if it can happen for everyone else, it can happen for you as well. Okay, the universe wants you to not give up on yourself, on upgrading yourself. And maybe this connection was a sign for you to want more and want better for yourself. Everything that's happening for you is happening for you to grow, for you to value yourself more, and for you to get the most out of life. Okay, this does not have to be like a lonely life where you're just doing everything by yourself. I mean, it's up to you. If you want to be an independent person, that's totally up to you. But I'm seeing that like if you want love, it is in the cards for you. Okay, it's just that you have to want better for yourself, and this person's realizing that you do want better for yourself, and they want to be better for you. They really want to show up for you in this connection. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pick some love oracle cards, and then I'm also gonna go ahead and pick some oracle cards. Okay, we have here, I am thinking about reaching out. I definitely feel like, I'm getting that from this person's energy here with all the swords, communication cards that we have here. Okay, so we have here, I want to make new memories with you. I feel like this person is definitely reminiscing over past memories, and they want to make new memories with you. I'm seeing something's gonna happen during like a fire season. Okay, I'm seeing like Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Okay, or maybe like Gemini, some air sign season. Yeah, we do have here the Emperor and the High Priestess, Aries, Pisces energy. Something could be happening during those seasons to everyone is closest to you. I love the way you dress. I feel like this person thinks you are so hot. Like, you are so attractive with all the Wands energy here. Like, the way that you present yourself, the way that you are, your beauty, everything about you. And they were benefiting so much from this. They were benefiting so much from just being around you, from, like, your validation, from your attention. Okay, that, like, they miss that. They miss that. And, like, even if other people are giving them attention, it's just not the same energetically. Okay, we also have your you are wifey husband material, and in a good way, not in like the old, like, dated like whatever, like, I hope you get what I'm trying to say. Like, when they say wifey husband material, they mean they want to commit to you and really be there for you, not in like a weird like you do just no outdated traditions. If you know, okay, that's the best way I can explain it. I don't know how much I'm allowed to really talk about that on here, but yeah, they mean this in a good way, like you're worth committing to, you're worth like bettering themselves for. Okay, we have here, I love the way you carry yourself, getting that with the Six of Wands energy here. They love the way you carry yourself energetically and also physically, and they feel like you're a goddess. They feel like you're a god. Like, they feel like, to be in your presence, again, they have to make you some kind of like offering or something. Yeah, we have here, I feel jealous when I think about you with others. I feel like this person's really scared you're gonna get like snatched up or be with someone else. I feel like maybe they did think that, like, they did treat you really well, and maybe you might not find someone better than them or something like that. But the truth is, like, this person knows like how beautiful you are, how attractive you are, how amazing you are, how great your mindset is, how much attention you got. I feel like maybe this person like knew that you were getting attention from other people. I feel like you're the type of person where, like, exes will like reach out to you, and yeah, just you get a lot of attention because of like your energy, your looks. And I feel like this person's actually getting scared that like you might be like snatched up by someone else, wifed up, husbanded up, booed up by someone else. Okay, especially if you haven't reached out to them. If you have not been reaching out to them, and you've kind of just been posting that you've been having a lot of fun and like whatever, like, this person's like especially scared, because then they realize, like, okay, yeah, they might be talking to someone else. Because again, I feel like this person like knows you got a lot of attention. Maybe they're even slightly like jealous of that or intimidated by that, but I feel like in a way it made them feel better that you chose them. It's like, out of all the people that were you know, your suitors are like going after you. Like you chose them, and this person like especially felt special. Now this person's realizing that you have like so many options to choose from, and there's not like a lack of, you know, options for you. And because you're upgrading your self-concept and they're really feeling that, they're feeling like they need to reach out to you. Okay, we also have here, I deserve no, you deserve more than I can give you. Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like they weren't able to give you what you wanted at the time, but it's like they're realizing like, okay, who else is going to be there for me? Who else is going to be as patient with me? I feel like you did give a lot to this person, and it's just like everyone else is like so strict with their boundaries, and like with you, you know, you're getting stricter, but like there was this connection at the end of the day that really transcended all this, you know, mind games, the mental games and all that. And yeah, I feel like this person really regrets losing you, and they just feel like they can't do any better. That's the message I keep getting. We also have here, I don't feel like I'm good enough for you. I feel like this person has actually said that to you, and if they said that, I mean, I feel like they meant it. They just felt like, you know, they should have done more, and you know, whether or not they're gonna do more totally depends on time and what's going on. But I feel like, you know, they really want to be on your level. They really want to level up for you, because maybe they're even feeling like, okay, how much time do I have left? I'm not getting any younger. I got to do something about this, you know? So, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and pick some cards from the Moonology Oracle deck to see what else is going on here. We have here the end of a tough cycle approaches. Right now, again, I just feel like they're very invested in the material realm, the 3D realm, getting their money up, okay? But I feel like this cycle is coming to an end. I feel like things are going to get better. Springtime, okay, this is a timeless reading, but I'm seeing like during the hot months, or I'm even seeing something to do with fall, like, you know, maybe you'll be getting married in the fall or something. I don't know why, I just randomly got that message, but things will get better, okay? We also have here, you and your loved ones are safe. Yeah, I feel like, you know, this person does feel really safe being around you, being in your energy. And I feel like, you know, you want to feel safe with this person. I just feel like maybe you didn't feel that emotionally safe with this person because of like, you know, the things that they said or did, and you really want that. You're just like, no, I want to be with you, but I want to feel safe. I want to feel like, you know, this connection is like, you're doing right by me. And maybe, you know, they're working on building up that emotional consistency within themselves so that they can, you know, be able to pour that into you, okay? We also have your a win-win outcome is forecast, okay? Full moon in Libra. That actually happens during Aries season, but I'm also getting like Libra season, okay? Fall, okay? I don't know, I'm getting like the Halloween, you know, fun fall stuff, okay? Yeah. Win-win outcome is forecast. Step outside your comfort zone. I feel like, you know, this person is going to be stepping outside their comfort zone, their emotional comfort zone. You know, all the baggage that they've had, they're going to be like, I don't want to resonate with this. I do not want to operate from my, you know, wounded, like, you know, past self. I want a better reality, a better future. I no longer want to be tethered to anything that was draining my energy, because I deserve to have a beautiful love life. I deserve to have a beautiful happy ever after. I feel like you're thinking this way too. They're thinking this way, and you're really on the same page. You know, we have here the scales are balancing, and a win-win outcome is forecast, and things are just going to be looking up for you in the best way possible, and you're not going to be projecting from your wounds. I feel like there's just a lot of healing going on. I'm also getting something to do with getting over a past connection. I feel like when you and this person met, you were still healing from a past connection, past rejection. And this is something that, you know, like once the both of you get together, you're no longer going to care about those people that hurt you in the past, because you realize, like, you know, that's just not compatible with the type of future that you want. It's not in alignment with the type of future that you want. So I'm seeing like you're really transcending and healing from all those wounds, okay? So that's a good message here. I'm gonna go ahead and pick some cards from the Angel Answers deck to see what messages we have here. And just keep in mind that this is a timeless reading. This is also a general reading, so if you want more like specific insights, you know, I'm here to like help. Okay, I just saw like a flock of birds come by. I'm seeing something to do with like migrating south for the winter. So right now I just feel like this is a time that people are just taking to themselves, and, you know, come like spring or summertime, like things are going to be looking up. Like sometimes it's for some people. Okay, one thing I'm getting is that some people are okay with kind of just resting and being by themselves in the winter because it's so cold outside. You know, not that many people go outside, and obviously I'm someone who lives in the West and the Northern Hemisphere, right? So, you know, take what resonates, right? But spring, summer, that's really when you want to go out. That's really when you want to socialize, right? It's more of a masculine season, like, you know, going out and being around people. Winter, like, is more feminine from what I heard. Like, you're kind of just, like, resting, being receptive, yin energy, you know, whatever you want to call it, right? So maybe it might feel a little bit lonely, but I really feel like by the spring, summertime, like, this person really wants to, like, date and get out there. And, you know, you're going to be the first person this person, you know, contacts and reaches out to. So yeah, I feel like maybe you made a lot of memories, especially in the spring, summer, fall, and they really miss those memories. They really miss being with you, and it's kind of lonely to be in the summer. For me, this could be very personal, but I don't like being in the house by myself in the summertime. Like, I'm fine doing that in the winter because it's so cold anyways. Like, what do I have to do? Like, you know, I mean, I do live in New York and there's a lot of stuff to do, but still, it's just like, nah, I just want to spend time to myself. So I feel like because the both of you are spending time by yourselves, to yourselves, when you do get back together, which I'm seeing is inevitable, I really do feel like both of you are meant to be together. You're going to have that, you know, energy built up for yourself. I'm seeing that maybe one or both of you could be kind of introverted. Like, you really need to recharge your social battery before you get back together. And that's something that I'm seeing is happening here. Okay. So you and this person, you know, this is actually a blessing in disguise. This no contact is actually a blessing in disguise because you're taking the time to really get to know yourself on a deeper level, so that when you do get into this, you know, when you do get back together, you're going to be able to, you know, really invest and pour into each other and pour into this connection as well. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and pick some cards. We have your let go. Yeah, I feel like this person is letting go of something, letting go of whatever was, you know, hindering this connection, letting go of like maybe the stuff that they said, their past selves, their past wounds. Okay, again, you're not operating from that perspective, but you're operating from a higher healed version of yourselves. Okay, we also have your opportunities. There's a lot of opportunities for the both of you to get together. Like, this person's going to take this opportunity to be with you. Maybe you're going to be seeing each other, running into each other. Okay, we have your helpful people. I feel like there's a lot of people around you that really want this connection to work. I feel like you're being supported in the spiritual realm. Like, the angels are working to make this happen. Maybe this person has been talking to other people about this connection and they're actually urging this person to be with you. Okay, so I feel like you have some like helpers around you that you may not see just yet that are actually helping the both of you get back together. We have you're ready. I love this. Okay, so I feel like the both of you just need some time to, like, you know, be ready within yourselves. But again, this no contact is a blessing in disguise, because once the both of you do come back together, you're going to feel more ready than you ever did, and this is going to turn into something more, something deeper, something more committed. Okay, we also have your peaceful resolution. I really love this. Okay, so things are going to be peaceful from here on out, because I feel like you've already built that foundation. Like, I feel like this person already knows you, who you are, and you know who this person is, and it's like you have built that foundation by, you know, spending time together, you know, being in each other's energies, right? And right now you're just continuing to work on building a strong foundation within yourself individually. Okay, we also have your ask your angels. If you need some, you know, help, your angels are always here to help you. Listen to your intuition. We totally got that from the high priestess here. We have here choose a new direction. I feel like, you know, you and this person, when you do get back together, you may need to have a conversation about, like, you know, boundaries and where you really want this to go, where, you know, you really want this to like how you want this connection to be. And when I mean a new direction, it's like some of the old things that happen in this connection can no longer stay if you want this connection to be successful. So those things are being cleared out. Okay, we have your communicate clearly. Yes, I'm seeing here, you know, communication, consistency, all of that is coming in. This person's going to learn how to be able to do that and how to show up for you, and vice versa. Okay, I feel like communication is very, very important in any relationship, and things can, you know, make or break by, you know, having communication or not having it. So yeah, that's something I'm seeing here. So this isn't totally like out of, you know, this is not like a lost cause or anything. You and this person, you have a very, very strong potential of getting together, reaching that happily ever after, especially with the 6 of Wands, 4 of Wands, victory, success, marriage, celebration. Okay, if that's something that you want. Okay, so yeah, again, I do feel like this person's going to be the first one to reach out to you. I feel like maybe that is what you want at this point. Like, you want them to do the pursuing, and yeah, I feel like it's going to happen sooner than later. Again, in terms of time frames, I am seeing Pisces, Aries season, okay? But I'm also getting a lot of just like sunny energy. So by the summertime, you'll be going on dates, things will be official, and a win-win outcome is forecast. The both of you are going to be feeling good being in this connection, and it's going to be a win-win for the both of you. It's not like you'll have to be sacrificing anything or they'll have to be doing that. Maybe there's some compromises, but not sacrifices. But I'm seeing that, like, I'm seeing that it's going to work out in your favor. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end the reading right here, pile 1. I really hope this helps. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. You always have for you in your reality. I do want to let you know that I offer in-depth tarot readings and manifestation coaching. So if you do want that, you want one-on-one personalized guidance, I'm here for you. And yeah, I will see you all next time. Thank you so much. Love and light. Hi, pal 2. Welcome to your reading. You all picked this black tourmaline moon crystal. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pick some cards to see what's going on in this connection. This left side will represent their energy, this right side will represent your energy. Although if you feel like the messages are switched, that's fine too. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. This is a general reading. This is for entertainment purposes only, okay? So yeah, with that being said, let's go ahead and pick the cards to see what's going on, okay? What does your person want to let you know about this connection? I'm just going to go ahead and shuffle the cards a bit. Okay, I mean, this is the first card that we have here before I even like finish my sentence, okay? We have here the Devil. I definitely feel like this person was dealing with some sort of negative habits or like some sort of like maybe even addictions, or like this could even be like an unconscious like addiction to like, you know, feeling sad, like negative emotions, right? Like that's what Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about in his book. Sometimes we're unconsciously addicted to like, you know, past traumas, and we really need to get out of that way of being if you want to, you know, succeed in life, right? So I do feel like there's certain things that this person needs to heal and work on. I feel like their shadow side is kind of, you know, coming up a little bit in this reading, and that's something that they really need to work on a deeper level so that they can, you know, fully show up for you. Because if you don't integrate your shadow, you end up dating it. And I feel like maybe this person also reflected something within your own shadow, or they reflected your assumptions. Maybe you and this person were very different, and I never want to say that like you attracted this person because, you know, you're this way and you deserve to have this bad thing. No, never, ever, ever. But, you know, sometimes things are a reflection of our assumptions based off of like, you know, things that we don't even know, beliefs that we don't even know we have because they're stored in the unconscious, okay? This is a matter of making the unconscious conscious. Otherwise, you know, you'll just think it's fate. Oh, this is just, you know, what's meant to happen. So when you figure out what's really going on in your unconscious mind, which I do feel like this person did reflect something about the way that you think relationships should go, or something that you've learned, something that you've been programmed to think about, something that you've even been programmed to think about, like you know, accepting, because, you know, that's just what love is. Love means suffering, right? So maybe this person really showed you something about yourself, about your assumptions, about your beliefs, about your programming. And I feel like, you know, this is something that maybe you called out this person on, and they're really working on changing this. Like, even though, you know, this Devil showed up, obviously I have to pick more cards. I'm seeing that this person realized that you were right about, you know, whatever it is that they continued to do that wasn't okay in this connection to do. Maybe, you know, there's certain things that like people have normalized that you're just like, yeah, that's not okay in a relationship. Like, you know, what do you mean that, like, you know, you're liking every person's like picture even though you're in a committed relationship? Like, you know, that whole thing about like, oh, my, you know, boyfriend's under, you know, this girl's likes. And it's just like, you know, maybe you have certain boundaries and you weren't really okay with this person, like, you know, doing that. I'm not saying like that's what was happening in this connection. I'm just saying, you know, that's an example. And like, you know, some people will say, oh, you're too jealous, you're too, you know, you're too insecure, right? Like maybe you were gaslit into thinking a certain way. Maybe this person did that initially, but then they realized, no, you were right. Or maybe this person actually realized, no, like that's actually not okay, that's actually not cool whatsoever, and I need to change, I need to be better. So I feel like this person is aware of what their, like, you know, negative, you know, tendencies were in this connection. So sometimes like the Devil showing up is good, because at least it brings that you know, negative habit or whatever was going on to light. At least, like, you know, they're aware of this, okay? So you know, sometimes when the moon shows up, it means like, okay, yeah, I am doing this thing, but they're not like talking about it and they're being secretive about it. But I feel like, you know, you and this person know what they were doing wasn't okay. And yeah, I'm seeing that this person is working on fixing that, or at least they're aware of that, which is kind of a good thing, okay, if you think about that. And not kind of, it is a good thing. Like, you know, at least you talk to this person about that rather than just settling, because a lot of people didn't even have the option to do that. You know, a lot of people don't even bring it up because they're scared of losing that person, because, you know, they're scared of being seen as insecure or whatever. But like, you stood up for yourself, which is really important, which is good. You brought that to light because you're no longer settling. I'm even getting maybe your ancestors had to settle because, you know, that was the only thing, that was the only option that was available to them. But like, you know, you're building yourself up to the point where you're just like, nope, if a relationship is not up to my standards, not up to my par, then I'm not going to be in this, because it's totally optional anyways. But also at the same time, you know, you want to experience love, and this person also wants to be able to be in this connection where they're being honest, where they're really respecting your boundaries, okay? So yeah, that was a lot of channeling from one card. Let's go ahead and pick a couple more cards, okay? We have here the Two of Wands here. We have here the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, they want things to be fair to you. I feel like, you know, right now they could be kind of just be contemplating different, you know, aspects of themselves. Okay, the Two of Wands. I feel like they, you know, really want to be with you. Okay, sorry, we got the Page of Wands. I am all over the place. I'm sorry. This is just how I do my readings. Like, everything just like comes all up, you know, like I channel so many things all at once, and I'm a little bit verbose, but I do want to give you the most like accurate messages possible, okay? So I'm seeing here with the Two of Wands, like this person, you know, like there's multiple things that they want. Like, they do want to be with you, but also at the same time, it's just like, you know, what else do they want? I'm not necessarily saying there's another person involved unless you think there is. I'm not really channeling that, but sometimes with the devil, you know, that can represent, like, you know, someone having like multiple options, people, and them just kind of like, you know, playing the field or whatever. I'm not necessarily seeing that with this person. I feel like this Two of Wands is more of a conflict between self. Like, you know, they have some like, they need to figure out what their priorities are within themselves. And I feel like, you know, they also feel like they might need to discover themselves a little bit more before they can fully commit to you and be in this connection. I'm getting something to do with traveling. Maybe you or this person likes traveling. Maybe you've done a lot with your life by traveling to these, you know, different places and learning a lot about yourself and really expanding your consciousness and knowledge. And, you know, all of, you know, you're doing so much for yourself. You're really showing up for yourself. And maybe this person doesn't really have that. Maybe this person never did that because either they were really codependent or they never had that, like, you know, desire to really know themselves and, like, you know, work on themselves. Or maybe they did do that, but I just feel like maybe this person feels like you might be a little bit like knowledgeable, more knowledgeable or smarter, or more like, you know, like experienced than them or something, and maybe they feel a little bit insecure. Not that you made them feel that way, but maybe they just feel like they need more experiences under their belt. And when I say experiences, I mean life experiences, not necessarily in terms of like dating other people, but I'm seeing like there is this desire within themselves to break out of these, you know, habits, right? We have the Two of Wands clarifying the Devil card, so it's just like, you know, again, it's like their ego mind versus their, you know, like their soul, like what they really want, like the monkey mind versus, you know, their potential, their heart versus their mind, their ego versus, yeah, you know, whatever I said, right? So there's some sort of like internal conflict going on that they kind of need to really fix within themselves. Maybe this person has mentioned traveling somewhere, and maybe once they travel, they'll, you know, start thinking of you and like missing you and associating you with that. I don't know, I'm just getting traveling passports, you know. Yeah, that's just showing up for me. We also have here the Six of Pentacles. So they want this connection to be fair to you. They want to make sure that everything that you are, you know, that you've given them, they're able to give back, because maybe they weren't really able to give back, or maybe they did. They definitely did try, but I feel like on an emotional level, maybe this connection felt you left you feeling a little bit depleted, or like they just were not up to your standards of what you feel like a connection should be like. Maybe the emotional consistency, the emotional security was missing a little bit. Okay, I definitely feel like they had emotions for you. They did like form feelings for you, but it just wasn't to the point where, like, you know, they could like sustain this relationship. And that's not a reflection of you. It's just like this person has never felt like, you know, I feel like they were kind of this way with all their exes, just because they didn't really have the best sense of themselves, and this connection showed a lot within themselves, and it really held up a mirror to who they were. And it's like, you know, they did form really strong feelings for you. They did fall in love with you. They still are in love with you. They still do like you. They do still care about you. But I also feel like there's this tug of like individuality and being true to themselves, and, you know, being in this connection, because maybe they were kind of a lone wolf. Maybe they didn't really have that much, you know, relationship experience. And right now it's like they had this like, you know, urge to kind of just find themselves, to like, you know, maybe work on, you know, I'm seeing like finances. That's something that they're also focused on. But with this Page of Wands, I do feel like they will be reaching out to you, and it will be good news. Like, you will be getting some sort of message or phone call or something from them. Okay, but also, like, you know, they need to work on whatever this Devil represents before they can come forward, because they do not want to be emotionally inconsistent and you know, make you feel like drained or insecure about yourself. So what I'm seeing here is like this person does like you. They do care about you, but they need to like also work on themselves. And maybe I feel like maybe this person thought that they could do better, but the truth is like they're probably not gonna like be with anyone as good as you. And maybe like they kind of needed to like realize the loss of you in this connection for them to realize that. I'm not saying that's how things should be. I know some people have this, you know, desire that like it's just you and them, and there's no other, like, you know, third parties or hot and cold, on and off behavior, because there are a lot of people where they just knew that this person was the one. Like, they just knew from the start, like, I don't even want to be with anyone else. And I feel like, you know, this person, sometimes not all relationships are the same. You know, I know a lot of couples and partners who have had to go through a period of separation for them to, like, you know, figure out what it is that they wanted. And that's also kind of beautiful within itself. I know that might not be the ideal way of doing things for a lot of people, but I think it's kind of great to see, you know, and this is just personal, to each their own. I think, you know, when you have that time to yourself, or even if you explore other options and there's still someone on your mind, that's how you know you really like that person. Because, yeah, you're choosing that person over yourself, your own solitude, over other people. So and I've noticed that when that happens, you know, I know like a couple of couples that were this way, where they did have a break or separation and they ended up getting married and they're still together. So again, no relationship is the same. And maybe you wish that, like, you know, you and this person were just together from the start, but I do feel like maybe the both of you had some wounds to heal from the past before, like, you know, you could really be together with this person. And this separation was really a blessing in disguise for them to, like, you know, realize your value and worth and to show up even better than they did before. This is actually like a sign that a connection is going to last a very long time, because it's like you've already, like, you know, had that experience of not being together. And it's like, if this person, you know, feels like you're better than their solitude, better than, you know, their other options, which I'm not really seeing that they even want to be with anyone else or exploring other options, but I'm definitely seeing that, you know, this person is like really realizing your loss, like your energy, you know, everything that you gave them, like they're really feeling the loss of that, the absence of that, to the point where they're just like, you know, I have to be better if I want to be with this person and benefit from their energy, not like in a weird energy vampire type of way, but it's just like, you know, this person wants to be able to, like, you know, give to you and pour back to you the same way that you were with them, right? And you know, for a lot of people, I got this message in Pal 1 as well, but you know, you give so much in your relationships and connections, to the point where, like, when you withdraw that energy, they really feel the loss of that, and they realize like how much they were benefiting from your energy. And in order to be with you, they have to invest in you. They have to make some sort of offering. They have to really, you know, show up for you the way that you deserve. So yeah, that's something I'm seeing here. Okay, I'm seeing here that a lot of, you know, work is going on. They're doing a lot of work on their end. Even if you don't see it, even if you know, they're not like reaching out or whatever, like there is a lot going on behind the scenes that you don't see that's actually benefiting this connection. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pick some cards to see what's going on your side here. Okay, so we have here the Knight of Swords. Okay, yeah, I'm getting like maybe you've been like having thoughts of reaching out to this person, or you know, like you just want something to happen. You just want some sort of message, some sort of you know, confirmation that, you know, this person's thinking of you, but you're also like restraining yourself from doing that, because you're just like, no, if this happens, this person needs to be the one to reach out. The Nine of Pentacles, I feel like you're, you know, you're very sure about yourself. You really value your individuality. You really you're independent, and that's something you really treasure about yourself. And I'm just seeing here, you're working on yourself, you're working on your hobbies, you're working on your career, getting your money up, you're working on personal development, you're doing so much for yourself, and you're standing in this beautiful Nine of Pentacles, you know, I know my worth energy. Okay, Nine of Pentacles has to do with self-worth, self-love, not settling. Okay, and I feel like this person's really like feeling that energy. A lot of people are really inspired by how independent you are and how, like, you know, strong standards you have for yourself, and that's a really beautiful thing. Okay, we also have here the Magician. I'm seeing here with this Magician. Okay, you are working on manifesting this connection, or you really want something to come out of this, and I feel like you're just so smart because of everything that, you know, you have gone through in your life. You know, you have acquired so many new skills. Like, maybe once you got into manifestation, you started learning about neuroscience, emotional regulation, the nervous system. This opened up a whole new world for you, this connection, and even connections in the past, even like your desire to manifest certain things, opened up this whole new realm, this whole new portal of, you know, knowledge and wisdom. And you've gained so much. You've learned so much about yourself. You've learned so much about your body, your biology, neuroscience, your brain, how the world works, and just, you know, you're becoming smarter as a result of this. So nothing is really lost. Maybe you feel like, why does this keep happening to me? Why do I have to constantly keep going through this loop of, like, you know, heartbreak, and I'm just so tired of this. I don't want to keep doing this. But I'm seeing here that, like, things are definitely looking up for you, and like nothing's really like gone to waste. And if anything, like, there is a magician that lives within you that's making this all work, that's making this connection work. Okay, your higher self, the infinite intelligence within you, is making sure that you get the most out of this, and all the work that you've been doing on yourself is not going to waste. Okay, we have here the Page of Swords. That's so interesting. I feel like maybe you're kind of stalking this person. You're trying to see what they're doing, what they're up to. I feel like this person's also been stalking you. We have like the pages here on both sides here. Yeah, but I'm seeing that you really don't want this person to be with someone else. I'm seeing that, like, you know, you are really hoping that this person doesn't get with anyone else. So maybe you've been kind of like, you know, stalking them on certain social media platform, maybe even like Venmo or something. I'm getting to see if, like, you know, they're hanging out with someone else or what's going on here. But yeah, I'm seeing that things are definitely they're not like completely lost. That's also a message I got in Pile 1. I feel like, you know, this Magician is a very strong card. It's a major arcana card. You have all the tools needed to make this connection a reality, because see, we have here the Pentacles, the Cups, the Swords, the the Wands, and it's working out in your favor more than you know it. There's so much that is working out in your favor, even if you don't see it just yet. Okay, the Magician. There's a lot. Okay, I really like the whole thing I said about there's a magician that lives within you, your infinite intelligence. You know, certain things are working to make sure that, you know, you get the most out of everything that you've been doing and, you know, working on within yourself. And the Magician is also associated with Mercury, Gemini, Virgo, like just that intelligence, you know, that airy intelligence, being like smart about things, you know, working smart, not necessarily hard. And just knowing that, like, you know, that you are the operant power of your reality. I feel like, again, you have been manifesting. You've been working on manifesting. Maybe you manifest every day. And that's really helping you up level and upgrade to the best version of yourself and the best possible outcome. And, you know, the timelines, like, you're really stepping into this higher timeline where you're getting everything that you want. And I feel like this person also sees you as someone who's really magical. Someone who's added a lot of value to their life. I'm seeing that, like, you're literally this person's good luck charm. Like, this person has added a lot of, or like, you know, when you are around, like, this person wants to be the best version of themselves. Like, you make them want to really level up and upgrade. Maybe you're kind of a magician in this person's life. That's the role that you play in other people's life. You make them want better for themselves. And there's so much, like, value that you add in terms of the knowledge that you have. I feel like you're very resourceful. Okay, I'm really getting that, like, you know, Mercury energy, really tapping into that. You're really resourceful. Maybe you're someone who likes to recommend things to people and they've gotten a lot out of that. You recommend resources to people. Maybe you've introduced this person to a new way of being. You've introduced this person to knowledge. I'm seeing that, like, you know, the things that you work on, neuroscience, healing, I keep, you know, like, habits, like fasting, that's something that has, like, come up a lot. You recommend these things to people, and health habits, you know, and they gain a lot out of that. They gain a lot out of the knowledge that you have to give. And that's why this person really misses you. I don't feel like they get this with anyone else. I feel like with other people, you know, they might be, like, you know, talking to people, being friends, whatever, but, like, there's something very special about the things that you have to say, the magic within you that this person is still feeling to this day that cannot be replicated anywhere else. I feel like for a lot of you, you know, the wisdom and advice that you have to give might be, like, spiritual in nature or health related, or maybe it's a mix of everything, right? Like, and maybe this person could be talking to people that, you know, they're getting, like, logical knowledge, like, technical knowledge. I don't know why I'm getting someone could be working in, like, tech or finance, or I'm getting, like, doctor, lawyer. Yeah, that's just popping up for me. But it's just, like, you have, like, this, you have esoteric knowledge that cannot be found anywhere else. And it's, like, you only give that to, like, people that you feel like are special to you. And, like, maybe you like talking about, like, the things that you learned about to everyone, but I feel like, you know, maybe, yeah, again, you are a magician in this person's life. Like, you've changed up so much within this person that you make this person want to be the best version of themselves, and that's exactly how they're going to show up for you. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pick some love oracle cards, and then I'm going to go ahead and pick some general oracle cards to see what other underlying messages we have here. Okay, we have here, I hope you haven't moved on. Both you and this person are really hoping the other has not moved on. Okay, yeah, going back to the Page of Swords energy again, I feel like there's some, like, social media stalking going on to, like, you know, get some clues. I feel like you can see right through me. I feel like this person, like, you and this person really understand each other on a very deep level. I feel like this person can almost, like, read your minds, and you're also really good at pattern recognition, and you have really developed this intuition within time, and, like, the both of you can just, like, really see through each other, but in a good way. Okay, we also have here, I'm focused on healing myself. This person is focused on really becoming the best version of themselves so that they can show up for you, show up for themselves, show up for this connection. I feel like this person and you, I don't know if you want, like, a family or, you know, whatever, but if that is something that you want, like, you want to get married, you want to have kids, I really feel like you're on track to doing that, okay? Or whatever it is. Maybe you just want long-term commitment. Maybe you don't want kids, whatever. I just feel like, you know, healing has to be done to, you know, really get to whatever level you want to be at. And I feel like that's something this person is really working on, okay? We also have here, I think you're very funny. I feel like this person really admires your sense of humor. I feel like this person also has a sense of humor. Like, maybe they try to, like, match your sense of humor, and this person said some funny things that you're just like, oh my gosh, like, that's actually so funny. And, like, you like being around each other's energies. Like, you know, like, even though there were some you know, harder conversations that you had to have, you really miss, this person really misses your, like, funny nature. I'm getting, like, kind of, like, fox vibes on your end. Like, maybe you're a little bit, with this magician card, maybe you're a little bit, like, I don't know how to say it, but like snaky, cunning, but like in a funny way. Like, you know, you are someone who, like, you just have this like kind of like fairy-like energy. Like, you had a lot of like humor and like, you know, comical humor to people's lives. I'm getting jester, but in the best way possible. You're not like, you're a queen, okay, you're a king, you're noble, but like maybe you have this kind of like funny jester like energy. Maybe this person had that energy, but you admire each other's sense of humor. Okay. We also have here, I care too much what others think. Yeah, I do feel like someone was caring a lot about what someone else thought, like, or maybe their family or something. I feel like sometimes, you know, like we do care about like, oh, will this family accept this person, or like, you know, what's going on. And I feel like subconsciously that may have gotten in the way, even if this person said that like they don't really care. Sometimes that happens in like interracial relationships, either inter-religion, whatever type of relationships. Like, oh, will my family accept this person? I'm seeing that for some of you, this person could have been from a different race, religion, way of spirituality, culture, something like that. That's not a message for everyone, but, you know, some of you might resonate with that. Okay, what the heck? We got here, I spy on your social media. I did not know this card was going to come up, but the Page of Swords is a surefire indicator that they are doing that, okay? They're definitely, like, stalking you, spying on you, trying to see, you're trying to gather clues about you, so, yeah. Yeah, okay, that's something I've constantly picked up on, even in Pal 1. But yeah, let's go ahead and pick some cards from the Moonology deck to see what other messages we have here. Okay, I love this. Expect powerful change. Yeah, powerful changes are coming into this connection. Again, I keep like going back to the Magician's energy. Like, things are definitely changing and getting better. Like, there's going to be a powerful change that's really going to be beneficial for this connection. Okay, that's what I'm seeing. Your confidence is your key to success. I feel like right now you could be working on building the confidence within yourself, trying to feel more safe and secure in yourself, trying to really build that emotional stability, a strong foundation within yourself, to the point where, like, you know, nothing can phase you no matter what. Like, you'll be solid no matter what. I'm seeing that this person also really admires your confidence. Maybe you know, you're channeling your Leo energy or something. Like, this person, like, also I'm seeing that this person just finds you so beautiful, so admirable. Like, a lot of the Leos I meet are just so good looking, so beautiful, so attractive. So I don't know, I'm getting that energy from somewhere. But yeah, confidence is your key to success. Maybe this person also wants you to feel confident in this connection, confident being with them, okay? And that's something that they're working on. We also have here, show the world the real you. Yeah, full moon in Aquarius, new moon in Leo. That actually all happens during Leo season. Something could be happening during that season. I feel like this person really loved it when you were being your most authentic self, okay? When you were just being you, you know, just, yeah, your natural self, the way that you are. Like, you don't have to like put on a mask for this person. You don't have to hide yourself. This person accepts you in every single way, shape, and form. Okay, so that's something this person really does admire about you, your authenticity. We have here, your commitment is being tested. I feel like maybe this person did have some commitment issues, not because they wanted to be with other people, but like they just had a problem, like, you know, showing up for you the way that you deserve. Maybe this person kind of wanted like a part-time relationship, or I'm even like, I've been seeing that meme a lot. Like, maybe people nowadays just value their individuality or like their space, their time so much that it's kind of hard for them to commit fully. And that's not because they want to be with other people, but it's just like, it is a lot of work to put into relationships. And maybe, like, you know, if one or the both of you are introverted, that I'm seeing, like, you know, that definitely could have played a role in this connection. But I'm seeing like, how committed are you to yourself, to your personal development? And, you know, that does have a connection to how committed you are into being in this relationship, right? So maybe there's this like duality between individuality and being in a connection. Like, how much maybe this person really valued their time and space and being alone, and you as well. And it's just like, you needed to strike up a good balance. Maybe this person just is used to being by themselves a lot, or you're used to being by yourself a lot, and it's a matter of, you know, balancing that out. Maybe there was a lack of balance in that sense. But that's something I'm seeing that the both of you are working on, because at the end of the day, you do want to be together. I'm seeing the both of you want to be in this relationship, but also, you know, maybe like, yeah, there's a, like, this person doesn't want to lose you completely, but also they're not able to show up for you completely. And even you're just like, I don't even know what I want, because you like your own time and space, and you like, you know, being by yourself. Again, we have this Nine of Pentacles independence energy. You're just so used to being independent and doing things by yourself that you know that if someone comes in, they have to really add to your life. But are you ready to really accept that? And what is it that you want to accept? I'm seeing that there's some clarity that you need to gain, that is coming in for you. Clarity is coming in for you in terms of what what's gonna, you know, what this next phase is gonna look like for you. Okay, so yeah, anyways, let's go ahead and pick some more oracle cards. This is from the Angel Answers deck. We have here big happy changes. I feel like right now you may not have all the answers, but when you do, it's going to result in big happy changes. So I'm just seeing, let this magician, you know, do its work. Let your subconscious mind, let your, you know, all the work that you've been doing, like let that speak for you, speak for yourself. Okay. We have here, if you believe. Yeah, if you believe this will happen, it will. Okay, a lot of manifestation energy coming through, but I am seeing big happy changes, powerful changes are coming in for you. Maybe a part of you is just like, I kind of just want to let things be and see where they go. Like you do know what you want, you have an idea of what you want, but maybe you don't want to micromanage every single aspect, and you just kind of want this person to surprise you, which I'm seeing that, you know, if that is what you want, that is in the cards for you. Okay, so I feel like this person is going to be surprising you in a very pleasant manner. We have your reconsider. Yeah, maybe there are certain things that this person needs to reconsider about how they were showing up, about their energy and the things that they were doing. Okay, and yeah, okay, right now we have here no, so right now may not be the right time, but again, we do see big happy changes, so let that, you know, let timing take its course. When I say divine timing, I mean the timing within, like, you. Like, I think divine timing is something that is dictated by our subconscious mind, right? So I read somewhere that until you make the unconscious conscious, everything will present itself as fate. So this no doesn't mean a permanent no. It just means like right now the both of you really need to work on yourself, because I feel like if this person were to come forward, you wouldn't really be happy with what they had to offer, because I'm getting like 5 of Pentacles energy. Like, they're not going to be able to offer you that full happily ever after. It's just going to be like breadcrumbs, and you deserve so much more than just crumbs. Okay, but we have here yes. That's crazy. No and yes in the same reading. So eventually it will be a yes. Right now it's just, you know, give it a little bit more time. Again, this is a timeless reading. This is a general reading, so take what resonates, leave what doesn't. We do have your meditation brings answers. Yeah, maybe when you meditate or clear your mind or do something like journal, whatever it may be, breath work, right? Whatever you feel like doing, you will get the answers and clarity that you need. We do have your trust. Trust that, like, you know, the best is happening for you. Trust in, you know, your inner intelligence. Trust in your angels, your spirit guides, your higher self to bring you the best connection, okay? Because that is something that I'm seeing. Like what you're about to receive is going to be like better than you even expected it. So have trust that this will work out for you in the best way possible. So yeah, anyways, I'm going to go ahead and end the reading right here. I hope this helps. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. I do offer tarot readings. Okay, I offer manifestation coaching. I custom make subliminals. So if you want some insight into your specific situation, check out the link in the description box below where you can sign up for my services. And I will see you all next time. Thank you so much. Love and light. Hi Pal 3, welcome to your reading. You all picked this green agate. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pick some cards to see what's going on with your person. This left pile will represent your person's energy. This right side will represent your energy. If at any point you feel like the piles are reversed, that's fine too. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. This is a general reading. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle the cards on your person's side to see what's going on with their energy. Okay, what is it that they're feeling? What is it that they would tell you what's going to happen? Okay, so yeah, okay, the first card we have here is the 7 of Pentacles. Okay, manifestation energy, waiting on something to happen, like still having faith, still having motivation to be in this connection. This is like enjoying the fruits of your hard work, right? So I'm seeing that this person hasn't given up on you. I feel like right now they could be focused on material realm abundance. This is a message that I've been getting in all my readings so far, because I am filming this at a time where the economy is a little bit you know, questionable, especially if you live in like the West and Northern Hemisphere, right? So yeah, I'm just seeing here that this person is really focused on their finances and material realm abundance at the time, and they're just very you know, like, I feel like they like to play like the long game. They don't want to rush into anything. I feel like they're genuine, intentional people. Okay, and then we also do have here the Ace of Pentacles. With this Ace of Pentacles, okay, a lot of earthy energy. Maybe they could have Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. But with this Ace of Pentacles, they do want to come forward and make you an offer. I love the way the hand is reaching out to really, you know, hold this pentacle. It's like they're going to make you an offer kind of out of nowhere. It's like an offer out of the clouds. So I feel like okay, well, Ace of Pentacles has more of like a stability type of vibe to it, right? Like stability, security. It's not really like an out of the nowhere type of card, but I feel like this person is really building up a strong foundation within themselves. I feel like they're really working on creating that stability within themselves so that they can be in this connection with you, because I do feel like this person wants a real future with you. I feel like, you know, this person wants you know, marriage or something long-term and committed, maybe even a family. And I feel like they know that there's some internal work they have to do before they can really, you know, come forward and make you this offer. And they're really interested in you. They love your like earthy energy. Maybe you have earthy energy or they do. I'm seeing like one of you, like, you know, grounds the other person, whereas the other person is a little bit more like, you know, like I keep getting like higher chakras, like usually like in a not usually, but sometimes in relationships it's like one person's more grounded and logical and the other person could be like, you know, more like spiritual or creative, imaginative, maybe like go with the flow type of person. So I feel like it's either you or this person, but you both do have this sense of groundedness and like, you know, this desire for stability and security. But this person really needs to work on building that within themselves, which is what they're doing. I feel like they were inspired by the stability and security you had, and that's something that, you know, they realize they need to have in their energy more. They need to integrate that into their energy more, and because they've been around you, they have, you know, really been able to see how well you carry yourself. And I don't mean this in like a weird like energy vampire type of way, but they did sort of you know, like draw from your energy in a very positive way. Like you know, a lot of people get inspired by you, inspired by the things that you're doing, so they really drew from that, and they're really inspired by you, your way of life, your way of viewing things. Okay. And at the end of the day, you know, this person does want to make things work. I feel like the both of you already know each other pretty well. Like you built a strong enough foundation where you understand each other on a deeper level. You understand how your mind works. So this person like really understands your feelings and intuition and vice versa. And yeah, you know, and I'm seeing that this is, I keep getting something to do with, you know, mind games. And it's like maybe you felt like you had to like kind of be on top of like the mind games because, or like you were playing some mind games or they were, but that's not how a relationship should be. Like, okay, here's the thing. When I say mind games, I mean like maybe you had to kind of pull back from this energy because you were scared to like give your person your all, and every time you did express feelings, I feel like maybe at the moment your person would express it too, but then like the next time they saw you, things would be weird. Or maybe this person was hot and cold, you know, there was some instability there, and like maybe you felt like you couldn't like really fully express yourself on how much you like this person because you just, you know, they would just assume you like them too much. And maybe there's a little bit of like ego here at play, if you know what I mean, right? Like maybe because you didn't want this person to get the ick, or they didn't want you to get the ick, so maybe they downplayed their feelings or you downplayed your feelings. I'm sensing something to do with that. Maybe you know, just to like have better boundaries, or to just not have this be like one-sided. And now you're trying really hard to not reach out to this person because maybe you feel like, you know, this person like starts thinking too highly of themselves, or like they just think like you're super into them or something. And it kind of makes you feel weird. You're just like, no, well, my soulmate would like reciprocate that energy, and I don't want to play games. I don't want to have to like downplay how much I feel. I just want to be able to like fully express myself, and it should be mutual, right? So something like that is popping up. It may or may not resonate with everyone, but yeah, let's go and pick some more cards to see what they're doing. Okay, I feel like right now they're working on just stabilizing their feelings. Okay, we also have here the King of Cups. So I'm seeing here, yeah, okay, speaking of feelings, yeah, this person knows how to be loyal. They know how to commit. I just feel like they need to be better in, you know, showing that in the 3D realm, because we have all this Pentacles energy. So they do have feelings for you, but like, you know how some days like you just like, your feelings can kind of be like on and off, and that doesn't mean you don't love the person. Sometimes you just need some time to yourself, and that doesn't mean like you've lost feelings, right? So I do feel like they still have feelings for you, but they need to be able to communicate that better in the 3D realm and show up for you more consistently in the 3D realm. Okay, this person really does want to make you an offer. I love, love, love that we got the King of Cups on their side, because this is like the ultimate like you know, best partner, someone who's very loyal. Honestly, a lot of people I know that are, you know, with really good partners tend to have, like their partners tend to have water sign placements. I've noticed that Scorpios actually make really good like husbands, and Pisces as well, like the ones that make it to marriage, you know, to the altar, something long-term and committed. I often do see like, you know, water sign energy, whether that be Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. But yeah, but I'm getting here someone could have, you know, Pisces placements, just water energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. But I am definitely seeing here with this King of Cups, this person wants to you know, come forward and make you an offer that's based on like solidity, stability. I'm just seeing like stabilizing their feelings, stabilizing themselves. I am getting this message that maybe they could be in therapy, or they were, or maybe on like medication or something, and there could be something going on that you don't know that much about. Like sometimes when people get off that, or they were doing something for so long and they're changing that trajectory, that could result in some instability. So if you did notice this person have that, it could have something to do with that. Again, this is a general reading, and take what resonates, leave what doesn't. But yeah, we do have here the Five of Cups. It's so interesting because I feel like, this is exactly the hot and cold energy I was getting here. It's like this person does have a lot of feelings, and, one day when you meet them, they're great, they're lovey-dovey, but the next day, like, they actually like really moody and emotional, and you're just like, what's going on? Like, why does this keep happening? Like, is this normal? Maybe you've tried to, like, ask other people, or like, read about, their behavior on other forums or something. And yeah, like I do feel like this person kind of goes through a lot of like emotional ups and downs, and you're just like, I don't know if that's something I really want impacting me, because maybe like, you base your feelings based off this person's feelings, right? Like when you're really into someone, when you're emotionally invested in someone, obviously you're going to care about what they're doing and their actions, because that does tend to have an impact on you. And I feel like maybe this person's instability did kind of cause some like Five of Cups energy within you as well. Maybe that kind of came out in this connection for the both of you. And sometimes this person just withdraws. Sometimes they just need some time alone. Maybe they're introverted, maybe they haven't had that much relationship experience, or they're not used to being like a long-term committed relationship, and that's just something that kind of scares them. But also at the same time, there's a part of them that's just like, you know what, I want this relationship. I want, like whatever it is that they want. Maybe they could want a family, maybe they could want like, marriage and things like that, right? But it's just like, how are they going to be a good parent? How are they going to be a good father, mother, whatever, a good partner, if they don't even know how to like stabilize their relationships when you're in a relationship, or when you're with each other, and you just feel like maybe things are going backwards. It's just like, maybe you were in a committed relationship, or you did start dating, but something happened and then it turned into something casual, and you're just like, why do I feel like we're going backwards? Okay, because there was so much progress being made, but then the Five of Cups energy kind of just like, like you just felt like things were just unstable, and it just was not good on your energy. And this person realizes that. Okay, I know like this is your person's side, but I feel like their actions have caused you to feel this way, and I'm definitely seeing here that things are going to be shifting and changing for the better. Okay, I am still getting that, because 3 of the 4 cards do have to do with like stability, working on themselves. So don't take this Five of Cups too personally, is what this person wants to convey to you. They literally want to let you know, like, listen, I need to gather my own thoughts and feelings, and maybe I need some like separation and time to myself. Don't take it personally, because maybe like you have been taking it personally, and it's not a reflection of your self-worth or how lovable you are. No, you are an amazing, whole, complete person, and that is something they really want to convey to you. But they need to learn how to also really tap into that energy within themselves, so that they're not draining you, so that they're not taking from your energy in a negative way, like being an energy vampire. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pick a couple more clarifying cards on this person's side. We do have here the Six of Pentacles, so I do feel like this field will balance out, their emotions will stabilize, and they will be able to give you what you were giving them. Okay, I am seeing like more in the material realm. Maybe they'll like spoil you a lot or buy you things, but also you just want that emotional stability. So I feel like it will be fair in all aspects. Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and pick maybe one more card to just see what's going on. I'm just shuffling the cards right now. Okay, that's really interesting, because we got the Five of Wands. Yeah, so I do feel like, again, this person, like, and maybe you had some conflict arguments, maybe you would argue a lot, and going back to the whole like mind games, like you've had to pull back your energy, they've had to do that. Maybe there was some sort of jealousy or competition, and that's also something that like really upset you. Like maybe you felt like they were kind of scattering their energy in other places. But again, we have the King of Cups, so I do feel like they were loyal to you. I don't think they physically did anything with anyone, if you are wondering that, unless you know otherwise. But maybe this person like gets excited with like attention, or like maybe they're not used to receiving attention, but at the end of the day, their heart lies with you. At the end of the day, you're the one they really want to build with and grow with. But they do need to kind of work out this Five of Wands inner conflict energy within themselves, so that there won't be conflict in this connection. I feel like maybe this person's feelings weren't like 100% stabilized, so you and them would have conflicts with each other, and at the end of the day, it just ended up resulting in a breakup, instead of like maybe you tried really hard to fix things. So I'm not going to say instead of fixing things, because you did try really hard, but at the end of the day, it's you're separated, and this person's feeling really sad. They really liked who they were when they were with you, when things were going well, and they really like being in a relationship with you. But they also know that like they cannot keep like stringing you along. They cannot keep using your energy without like offering anything in return, because it just feels like, you know, you're going backwards, and this person knows that, you know, you're worthy of a committed relationship. That's what you're aiming for, and you're not going to do this, you know, casual hot and cold stuff. Maybe you used to do it when you were younger or in previous years, but you're just like, nope, I have worked on myself too much to settle, and I'm not doing that. And I feel like this person receives your message loud and clear. I don't know if you physically told them that, or you're thinking this. I am channeling this sort of like I'm not settling type of energy within you, which is really powerful, and it's a really good place to be in. Okay, by the way, I saw 1212 on the timer. I was actually like not even looking at the timer when I was, you know, speaking, and I just like looked and glanced, and I saw 1212. So I do feel like, you know, the both of you will be on the same page when it comes to certain things. 12 also reminds me of like, you know, 12 days, something can be happening in 12 days, or you know, 12 is associated with Pisces, the 12th zodiac sign, something can be happening during that season. Or I'm just getting 12th house energy. Maybe the both of you right now are communicating through dreams or other realms, even if that physical 3D communication isn't there. Okay, but yeah, let's go ahead and pick some more cards to see what's coming in for you. Okay, oops, sorry about that. We have here the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so this is your energy. You're this Queen of Pentacles energy here. You are working on yourself, okay? You are investing your time, energy, effort into your hobbies, into achieving some sort of material realm abundance, into your career, into yourself. You're really pouring into yourself. All that energy that you have invested into this person, you're taking back and pouring into yourself, and that's going to be resulting in a lot of material realm and abundance. And I feel like this person is really feeling that energy. They're really inspired by you. They're really inspired by everything that you're doing and making of yourself. Okay, I'm seeing that this person has a lot of very, you know, like positive things to say about you in terms of just your work ethic, your integrity, your authenticity. Okay, and also with this Queen of Pentacles, I feel like you have this like natural like earthy energy to you. I don't know if you have earth sign placements or not, but you do have this grounded energy to you, which this person really admires. I'm also just seeing this person thinks you're very beautiful, like very attractive, very, very, very you know, just like you have like that kind of like earthy beauty, or like just something about your beauty grounding them. I don't know why I keep getting earth. You don't have to be an earth sign. I'm just saying like there's something very grounding and peaceful and calming about you, your aura, your energy, your vibe, your beauty. Okay, and it's actually really important that you not necessarily gatekeep yourself, but you be very careful about who and what you're giving that energy to, because you are so valuable. You are valuable in every single way. You're so worthy of the best things in life. And you know, this Queen of Pentacles archetype is something that you're tapping within yourself. I'm almost seeing that like maybe there's some sort of like, you know, if you believe in this, your ancestor, or some sort of like, you know, kind of like feminine figure around you that's like, you know, guiding you to like want better for yourself. Or maybe you're even seeing like, you know, there's a lot of like people, like there's a lot of women online that if you are a woman and, you know, like you're watching this, right, and maybe you're like into men, right, so that's just like I feel like most people that, you know, like this is just like, I'm speaking from my experience, right? I'm a woman that likes men, and I try to make my readings applicable to as many people as possible, but like, you know, sometimes specific messages will come up. But maybe you've been watching a lot of like, you know, women coaches or like speakers online talking about how important it is to really conserve your energy, reserve your energy for things that are worth it. Do not overgive your energy, because your energy is so valuable. I'm just gonna say, like, you know, by just you being around, right? Like, if for those of you that you know, identify with the feminine, like you're, you know, woman, right? If when you move into a place, an apartment, an area, the value and worth of that place automatically goes up. Okay, where there's a lot of women, there's a lot of abundance. I'm telling you, there is some sort of connection between femininity and abundance. And yeah, I'm just seeing that you bring a lot of worth and value to everything that you do, everywhere you go, by just you being you. Okay, like you are just very valuable in every single way, shape, or form. And again, this can be applicable to anyone, but I did want to give that specific message that I've been channeling about, like, you know, especially if you are a woman, like you are worth so much in every single way, shape, and form. Doesn't matter how old you are, doesn't matter how you look, like you are just a blessing to this universe in every single way, shape, and form. Do not let, like, you know, the patriarchy or any sort of outdated constructs tell you otherwise, because they try so hard to take away from our power, right? And you are just so powerful and empowering. And I'm really seeing here that you are learning about your worth. You are unlearning certain things, unlearning societal programming. And because of this, you're about to step into your highest timeline. You're about to receive so much abundance in the form of love, in the form of relationships. And I feel like your person's feeling this energy. You realize your worth and value, you know, is just, it's non-negotiable. Like you are just so worthy of everything good. You are so valuable in every single way, shape, and form. And this person's actually realizing, like, wow, like, I am with the goddess, I'm with the god, I'm with the queen, I'm with the king, I'm with the divine here. And if you have been telling yourself that, if you have been working on self-concept, you've been doing positive affirmations, trust and believe that this person is feeling your energy and they're really grateful for you. They're really grateful for just who you are, your vibe, your essence, your being, your persona, your nature. And there's not a single thing you need to change to please this person. You like dressing a certain way, you like wearing a certain type of hairstyle, makeup, whatever. You do you if that makes you feel good, okay? I feel like if this person also said something that may have triggered you, especially in regards to your appearance, I feel like they take that back and, you know, they're sorry, and it's kind of like a slip up, and, you know, this person actually really loves it when you do what makes you happy. So never change for anyone or this person, okay? That's something that I'm seeing that spirit wants to tell you, your person wants to tell you, your higher self has been trying to communicate with you. Okay, the Queen of Archetypes, the Queen of Pentacles archetypes has been trying to communicate with you, okay? Okay, wow, we have here the Ace of Cups. I feel like, you know, as I speak, like, I shuffle the cards, and sometimes I feel like, you know, the next card that you pull, it's like a clarifier for the current card. And sometimes when I say certain things, maybe the cards get impacted by that energy. I don't know. Could work that way, right? But we do have here the Ace of Cups. So I'm seeing here that you and this person are definitely going to have a brand new emotional beginning with each other, because you're going to be coming from this new sense of self-worth. You're going to be really tapping into your higher self, your highest self. You're going to be, you know, a whole new version of yourself. You're going to be stepping into a whole new timeline with all the information and wisdom that you've acquired as a matter of working on yourself, as a matter of even, like, you know, being on social media, right? Like, I know people say, like, you know, they have mixed opinions about social media, but honestly, I've learned a lot from, like, you know, people on social media, especially in regards to, like, material realm abundance, dating, right? So I'm happy that I actually, you know, got to, like, see these videos and learn a lot from these videos, learn a lot about other people's experiences, right? At the matter of the day, your perception, at the end of the day, what matters is your perception of certain things. And I feel like your person really admires your perception, your insight, your guidance, the way that you view the world, the things that you do, the person that you are, your nature, your persona. And I'm seeing that this person definitely wants some sort of emotional renewal. I'm just seeing that there's a lot of healing that's happening here on this person's end and your end as well. And whatever problems got in the way, things are going to be looking up for you, okay? We do have here the moon, yeah. So I'm seeing here that you may have been questioning if there's something in your subconscious mind that has been preventing you from getting into your relationship. Maybe you're literally asking yourself, like, what is it? What is the hidden block that I have within my psyche that is preventing me from experiencing, you know, this relationship, from the love that I, like, desire, the love that I want, the love that I'm worthy of, the love that I crave? What is it? Like, maybe you've been doing a lot of self-love work. Maybe you've been doing a lot of tarot spreads, reading about your brain, learning about neuroscience, regulating your nervous system. And I feel like something, you're going to be receiving clarity on what this is. Maybe you already have an idea of what this is. Maybe a lot of you have been thinking back to your childhood. Maybe it was something to do with, like, you know, your family, your parents, your culture, your upbringing, right? But I feel like you're going to be receiving more clarity on this, and you're also going to realize that you don't need to operate from that version of yourself. You don't need to be tethered to the past and whatever you saw growing up. You're allowed to have this beautiful new reality, you know, for yourself. You've done the work. You are doing the healing work. You're doing a lot of, you know, thinking and just, you know, inner work, and that's going to be paying off big time. I'm also getting this message about dreams, like your dreams may be revealing something about something that's going to happen, or maybe yeah, you're going to be receiving some clarity on, like, why, you know, things haven't, like, you know, panned out for you the way that other people have. Maybe you've been looking at other people's relationships, and, you know, people have been together for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plus years, and you're just like, what, like, why can't I even, like, make it past a certain amount of time, right? But I feel like you're gonna be so successful in this area of life if you have not experienced success in love the way that you want to, which, you know, nothing is really a failure unless you think it is, because it's all about perspective. You're going to be experiencing a lot of success and abundance that's really going to withstand the test of time, because, you know, there are some people who are together for a long amount of time, like 10, 20 years, but then they haven't done the work on themselves, and they end up, like, divorcing or separating after being together for that long. But what I'm seeing is happening with you is that you're doing all the work, you're doing all the inner work that's needed for you to, you know, be able to sustain this, you know, like, long-term abundance, especially when it comes to the realm of love, so that, you know, you and your partner, like, you will make it to the end of time. You're gonna be that, like, you know, couple that has that happily ever after, which is a lot better than the other way around. If you think about it, sometimes people rush into relationships and they invest so much time into each other, and then something just ends up happening and they break up. And honestly, my heart breaks for, like, the people who've been together for, like, that a certain amount of time and then they break up. And it's just like, you know, right now, like, it's a blessing that you're single. It's a blessing that you're in no contact, because your heart literally cannot take another heartbreak again. So it's actually good that, you know, you haven't like invested. Maybe a specific message I'm getting for some of you is that maybe you haven't really invested your finances or anything, to the point where, like, you know, you would feel like regretful and annoyed that, like, wow, I spent so much of my time, energy, effort on this person. It's a blessing that maybe you've had, like, you know, more like casual relationships or short-term relationships, or maybe they were official committed relationships, but you know, you're being protected in a certain way that you can't even see. And that's not to say that you'll never be in a committed relationship. If anything, I'm seeing that is coming up for you, and that is something that your person even wants to give you. But that self-love work, the inner work, the deprogramming, reprogramming is something that's really essential, and you are being given an opportunity to do that, which is the biggest blessing ever, okay? And you don't need to compare yourself to anyone else or anyone else's journey, because you don't know what goes on behind closed doors. You don't know what these, like, you know, happy couples are really going through. And trust me, I've seen it all. You know, I've seen some couples that are happy behind closed doors and what they post, and I've seen some couples that are miserable behind closed doors, and I've heard like the biggest horror stories. And it's just, at the end of the day, like, trust your intuition. Don't compare yourself, because your journey is different, and everyone, you know, everything is based on your perception, assumptions, your upbringing, your experiences, right? And if whatever you want, as long as you work for that, as long as you give yourself the permission to receive that, you will get it. I'm seeing here that this relationship, this connection, you living a happy, healthy, you know, you having a happy, healthy love life, it's in the cards for you, okay? We also have here the Star card. I'm seeing here with the Star card, there's a lot of healing going on your side. You've been unlearning certain things, reprogramming, deprogramming. Your person's feeling that energy, and they really want to be able to pour into, invest in this connection. I feel like you've invested so much into this connection, so much of your time, energy, effort, consciousness into this connection. Maybe you even overanalyze certain things. Maybe you were trying to see when this person was online and not. And, you know, I'm just seeing here that, like, right now with the Star card, things are about to get so much better for you. I feel like whatever you're investing, this person's going to be investing back into this connection. They're going to be investing back into you, because they see you as their future. You are the type of person that, you know, people see a future with, people want to pour into. I even love this Ace of Cups. Look at this. We have, like, so much imagery here of, like, things being poured into your cup. You've given so much, okay? And you cannot pour out of an empty cup. And I'm seeing here that, like, you know, you're literally, you're pouring into your own cup. You're pouring into your own well-being. You're pouring into your own self. And you've given so much. And this person wants to pour into you, okay? I know I'm saying the same thing again and again, but it's just amazing how we have, like, the Ace of Cups and the Star. So this is, all roads are leading to, like, this is going to work out. This is going to be a fair enough relation, fair enough connection for the both of you, where the both of you feel like, you know, this is good, this is fair, this is equal, okay? I want to go ahead and pick two clarifying cards on your side here. We have here the Hierophant. Yeah, I feel like you really want marriage, you really want commitment, or you want something long-term and sustainable, even if it's not like marriage. You want that, like, higher level of love. You want someone to rely on. You want this person to be that person, because you're very reliant, okay? I'm seeing that maybe you could be a Taurus, or I'm seeing Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Aquarius energy on your side, okay? A lot of earthy energy coming through here, and then watery energy, and then on your person's side, yeah, I'm getting, like, earth and water energy here for this reading in general. But yeah, the Hierophant, like, your consciousness, yourself is, like, being geared for this Hierophant type energy here. We have here the Page of Pentacles, but you realize that, you know, you shouldn't rush into things, taking it slow. Maybe you're just like, you know, I do want this happily ever after, but I also don't want to be love bombed. I would rather take things slow and, you know, do things at the pace that I wanted to, because I feel like you don't like being rushed. And, you know, as much as you really like this person, you're not going to be satisfied if this person just, like, you know, like, casually reaches out to you and then doesn't continue it. Like, you're at that point where you're just like, no, I want marriage, I want commitment, I want something long-term, okay? Again, whatever it is that you want, I'm just seeing you want something more sustainable, something more reliable. You want this person to be reliable. You want this person to, you know, be someone that you can call if you need some, you know, help with something, right? You want that happily ever after. But with this Page of Pentacles, you've learned that, okay, maybe, you know, good things do take time. I'm not saying that they take a lot of time, but it's just like, I want stability, and I want there to be some type of future. I want to know that, oh yeah, okay, this is what I'm getting here, okay? I want to know that whatever I am investing in is going to have a high ROI, a high return on investment. Otherwise, there's no point. Because I feel like even for a lot of you, you could be very careful with money. You could be very careful with your finances. You do not like investing into things and people that you don't feel like are going to result in, you know, like, high yields, like, you know, a high ROI. So you're just like, okay, this is gonna be casual. Like, I don't even want to like try it. Like, there are certain things you're just very averse to, very avoidant to, because I'm just like, I already don't see a future with you. Maybe you have people that hit on you, that are into you, that contact you, that like they slide in your DMs, or they're your suitors, right? Like, they're your admirers, but sometimes you'll be like, nah, I already don't see this going anywhere. I don't want to waste this person's time. I think it's best if I just like, don't even respond, because I don't want to, keep like leading this person on. And that's why like you're a little bit scared with this person, because maybe you and this person already tried making things work, and it was like kind of an on and off, hot and cold thing, and that emotional inconsistency and stability is just so not something that you're ready for or want at this time in your life, to the point where you're just like, I would rather just be alone if that's how things are going to be. But also at the same time, you do want love. But I'm seeing that you're allowed to have exactly what you want, and you don't need to go through, this instability, feeling down, not knowing where things are leading. Okay, if anything, I'm seeing that whatever is happening right now is happening for you, to want better for yourself. And this person will reflect that. Your person is actually feeling your energy right now, and they know that, you're not going to accept anything that is less than what you feel like you deserve at the moment, because you've seen what life has done for other people. You deserve that. This, maybe, you used to put commitment and love and relationships on a pedestal, but you're just like, okay, if it can happen for other people, why can't it happen for me? This is not like, you're realizing that you don't have to be a certain way. You just have to be yourself to receive love. And maybe for the longest time, you felt like you had to prove your worth to receive love. But I feel like, what this person even wants to say to you is that you've never had to prove anything. You don't have to prove yourself. You just have to be you. Let me give to you. I feel like this person just wants you to receive, okay? And you're learning how to receive, without having to sacrifice yourself, without having to prove yourself. And that's like one of the biggest lessons that, like, a lot of people are here to learn, and a lot of people do end up learning, especially when it comes to love and relationships. And you're no longer over giving, and you're only investing in things that are worth investing in. That's not to say you don't do anything. You like giving, but only when you feel like it's worth it. You're very intentional with your relationships, friendships, even with your money, what you're giving your energy to. And that is one of the most like beautiful like life lessons you can like master in this lifetime, in this 3D realm. Okay, so yeah, that's amazing. I'm gonna go ahead and pick some cards from the Love Oracle deck to see what your person wants to tell you, okay? And again, everything that I'm seeing on your side, your person is feeling this. Your person is feeling your self-worth rising, and they want to be able to match that, okay? Yeah, we also have your kindness and care has changed me. Again, you're very sweet, you're very kind, you're very giving, and they really do appreciate everything you've done for them. Don't think that, they're taking that for granted. We also have I want to talk to you, but I don't know what to say. Like, they do really want to come forward. They really do miss you, but they also just don't know what to say at this point that's going to make you happy, because, they feel like, they do you wrong when they offer, like, this kind of like hot and cold type of behavior. Like, they're really good one day, the next day they turn hot and cold, and it's like they've been craving talking to you. You were their best friend. You were someone that they could really rely on and talk about certain things too. And now that they don't have that, they're just like, wow, like, what do I do? Like, I just, this really sucks. But also at the same time, they don't want to waste your time. They don't want to upset you. They don't want to hurt you. They don't want to make you feel drained and depleted, because they've maybe seen that happen to other people. What I'm seeing here is that, like, maybe they have some friends, right, or people that they like let's say you're asking about a man, right? You're asking about a male, a boy, whatever, guy, and you are, like, there's certain things that he didn't do that or did that you didn't like. But maybe this guy has some friends. Maybe he's seen his, like, women friends, female friends, girlfriends, whatever, right? Go through certain things in life, and he's seen how much that has hurt them. Or maybe, like, they have a sister or something, right, that has gone through like some negative experiences in relationships, and they're just like, I do not want to do that to someone else. Like, your person, I feel like it's a blessing in disguise that they might not be talking to you right now, because they do not want to hurt you. Okay, this person is not like, vengeful or anything. Like, they're not like a bad, malicious person. I'm not really seeing that. If anything, like, they're just being protective of your feelings, but like, they also just don't know where their feelings are. Like, they don't know why they can't stabilize these feelings, the King of Cups. And we do have all these like ace cards, and they're just kind of all over the place, back and forth. And they're also realizing that if they don't get their stuff together fast, like, they're gonna lose you. So, like, they're kind of freaking out a little bit. Oh my gosh, that was so crazy. A bag just, like, fell, like, oh my god, I don't know if you heard that. I was so scared. I thought, like, someone was just coming inside, like, storming into my house or something. That's crazy. But they're freaking out. They're just like, what do I do? Like, I am just, by the way, like, the minute I said that, I just got, like, a message from someone that I've been waiting on, so that was crazy. Yeah, but they're freaking out. They don't want to lose you forever. In fact, like, they would really, like, be hurt if they found out that you got with someone else, and that you, like, had a thing with them and you dated them. And that would just make them feel a certain way. But then they're just like, okay, well, then you deserve to... They're just kind of all over the place. Like, they don't want to lose you, but they still can't, like, be there for you the way that you deserve. And, that's not fair to you. They realize that's not fair to you at all. And you shouldn't even have to, like, feel bad for this person. If they really wanted you, they would get you. And I'm seeing, like, they're finally going to decide, yes, they really want you, and they're gonna get you, okay? We also have I am obsessed with you. Yeah, this person is obsessed with you. This person is, like, literally stalking you on social media, or, like, trying to see when you're on, looking back to your text messages. This is, like, an obsession type of, like, love, okay? Yeah, we also have I want to make new memories with you. I feel like they're really reminiscing upon your old memories. I feel like, you're one of the best people they've ever dated, and, like, they really want these new memories with you. They really want to be there for you. They really want to show up for you the way that you deserve, okay? I feel like you will make new memories, yeah, but we do have you deserve more than I can give you. I do feel like, this person... Here's the thing, what I'm getting. Here's the message that I'm getting, okay? This person is going to realize they're not going to find anyone like you. They're not going to, like, find anyone who does as much for them as you have done for them. And they just don't feel that way with anyone else. They admire your beauty. They just think you're so desirable in every single way, shape and form. Not just, like, your physical self, but, like, your being, your soul, your essence. That's why they're going to realize, okay, maybe they told you this. You deserve more than I can give you. But they're really going to level up, because the memories that you made with them, the connection that you had with them on this earthly realm, cannot be replicated with anyone else. And I don't think they've done more with anyone else than they have done with you. Like, you were their, like, biggest, like, dating experience. And maybe at some point they thought they could find that with someone else. Maybe they thought that, okay, well, if I found it with this person, I could do it with someone else. But they're realizing the hard way, no, that's actually not happening. And they miss you so much that, like, they're just like, okay, if I have to change, if I have to heal and be better, I will. Because I don't want to lose this. Y'all, Sagittarius, I really want to kiss you. I'm telling you guys, this person fantasizes about you a lot. Okay, they do. I'm just saying it, do with that message what you will. But, yeah, they are obsessed with you. I want to spend more time with you. They do want to spend more time with you. And this isn't, like, a permanent breakup or anything. The both of you needed this time off to really figure out things. To really, see how much they miss you. To really, like... Because I feel like maybe for the both of you, like, you might have been in, like, proximity. You might have been, like, close together in the physical realm. And that's why this hot and cold on and off thing was happening. But some things happen where you're completely in, like, no contact. Like, this person maybe barely even talks to you anymore. And that's really when, like, they're realizing, okay, what is it? Like, what is it do I want? And I'm seeing that when the both of you get together, it's going to be very different than it was before. But, like, all the good things will stay. But it's, like... This is like a test. Like, your relationship is being tested in a certain way. Or they're testing themselves. They're testing to see, like, how much do I miss this person? And, like, you needed, like, a complete, like, clear, no contact, type of break here. I feel like this person's, like, literally receiving, like, withdrawal effects. They were, like, addicted to your energy, but they're experiencing withdrawal from not being around you. And this person doesn't let go easily. I feel like you and this person both, like, I'm getting that earthy, watery energy. It takes a long time for you to get over your ex, especially when, there was, like, real love, real feelings involved, which there were here on both sides, okay? I don't see this person moving on, I'm just saying. We do have I'm not emotionally available right now. So they do like you, they do care about you, but they're not able to, like, give you at the capacity that you deserve. So that, they mean they're partially not emotionally available right now. But that doesn't mean that will be that way forever. Because we have let me take you out on a date. I feel like this person and you, like, this person is going to court you. They're going to take you out on a date. They're just like, hey, can we meet up? Like, I feel like they're going to say something like, no pressure. Like, let's just see where this goes. Because here's the thing, like, I feel like they want to be with you for the long term, but like maybe the both of you are scared of putting pressure on each other, and maybe this person has been scared to reach out to you because maybe you do put a lot of pressure on them to, you know, like commit to you right away or something. But also, like, that is what you deserve, so you're not wrong for that. But something I'm seeing here, and to each their own, this is just a message I'm getting, just let them prove themselves to you. Let them show you what it is that they want, and just go into this having no expectations. But if you know about the law of assumption in the back of your mind, just keep affirming, yeah, they're gonna commit to me. Yeah, they're, you know, this is gonna result in, you know, whatever you want it to result in, marriage, happily ever after, family, whatever, right? But what I'm seeing here is that sometimes when you give people ultimatums, that can kind of like, you know, put them under a lot of pressure. And they need to be able to, like, you know, come up with a decision themselves. So I feel like this person already knows where you're at in that sense. This person already knows that, like, they need to do a little bit more to be in your life right now. But I'm also just seeing, like, you know, let them pursue you. Don't keep giving them ultimatums, because they already know that. And again, if you want to do that, you can do that. This is just a general reading. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. But if this person is starting to feel a lot of pressure from you, then, like, they probably won't even, like, you know, they'll be scared to even ask you out because they don't know how you're going to perceive them or receive their energy. Okay. We also have here, I'm going through a dark night of the soul. Again, right now, it's just, you know, it's kind of a blessing in disguise you're not together with this person, because this person has a lot that they need to deal with internally. And this is happening all for a reason, so that they don't drag you down. I feel insecure around you. Sometimes, yeah, you know, like, just based off everything I've said, this person might feel like they're not enough, or they might not be giving enough. They might be insecure about what they can give. But you're the best I've ever had. I love that. This is exactly what I was channeling. Okay, you are the best that they've ever been with, the best they'll ever be with. Okay, you brought back the life into my life, and that's what they're really going to be focusing on. I feel like so far they've been kind of like, you know, on and off, up and down, maybe focus, like, you know, back and forth, and the negatives, you know, have been coming through, but it's been mostly positive, and they're going to focus on mostly the positive things. You're the only one I see. At the end of the day, you're the only one that they want to be with. Okay, I'm sorry for being so toxic. I feel like you really had to lay some boundaries because they were acting that way. I've never felt this strongly about anyone before. You're the only person that they've ever, like, truly loved, that they've actually, like, you know, been with, and it wasn't like a limerence thing. Like, they genuinely really liked you. Okay, so that is something that I'm seeing here on their end. Okay, that's what they're feeling on their end. I'm gonna go ahead and pick some cards from the Moonology deck to see what other messages we have here. Maybe some time frames. Okay, we have here, your commitment is being tested in a lot of different ways. How committed are they to their personal development? How committed are you to, you know, being able to receive love safely? How committed will you be with each other? Okay. It's time to release negativity. Full moon in Scorpio. That actually ends up happening during Taurus season. I am getting something to do with Taurus season, Hierophant energy. Something could be happening in May or April, depending on whenever you're watching this. Okay, you're very close to achieving your goal. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing here you and this person are very close to, you know, being where you want to be. I feel like, you know, there's some personal goals that they're working on achieving, and, you know, when you're strong within yourself individually, then, you know, it makes it easier to come into a relationship together, right? I'm seeing, like, if there was any sort of, like, codependency or anything, like, that's not going to be a problem, because, you know, there are some people that are in very codependent relationships. They don't really have a strong sense of self, and they just, like, rely on their partner for everything, and it's that's also not the best way to do things. So I'm seeing that, you know, you're being given this time and space to work on yourself, to be able to receive love the right way, and, you know, be able to be in a partnership without it, like, exploding, without it, you know, doing it for, like, codependent reasons, or just because, like, oh, I need you because there's just no one else, or you know, I just don't want to be alone, right? Like, no one should be out of someone just purely out of loneliness. Maybe partially, yeah, maybe some people don't want to be alone, but sometimes people's alone time could be better than even being in a relationship. So I'm seeing, like, you know, if this person comes back, that means, like, they think you were better than their alone time, and that you really added value to their life, and vice versa. Even for you, maybe you're okay with being alone, you're okay with, you know, being more individualistic, but which is why, like, if someone wants to be in your life, they need to be adding more to your life, and you're not settling for anything less. And that's actually really good. That's maybe one of the reasons why you're so abundant and successful, or why so much abundance and success is coming into your life, especially in the form of, you know, material realm abundance. I'm actually seeing a lot of you are maybe good at saving up money, you know, the Queen of Pentacles energy. Maybe you're going to be getting raises, bonuses, promotions, and it's just, you know, like there's something very like valuable and amazing and fruitful and abundant about your energy that allows you to experience all these things. And if you've experienced it in other realms, you're going to be able to experience it in love as well. Trust. Okay, let's go and pick one more card here. Hold your vision. Yes, I feel like the both of you like don't want to give up on each other. This person does not want to give up on you, and it's like the universe does not want you to give up on each other. And there's a little bit of stubbornness here. Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio energy here. Okay, like the both of you are going to come back together. Hold your vision of that happily ever after. Okay, I'm seeing for a lot of you it is this person, but even if it's not, in the rare case, you will still have that happily ever after. But hold your vision of like, you know, how whatever you want this person to be, how do you want them to show up? How do you want to experience love? How do you want to experience receiving love? Okay. So yeah, I do feel like the both of you have not given up on each other, and it is likely that this connection will happen. This is not like completely a lost cause. Okay, I've said that in some of the other piles as well. But yeah, let me go ahead and pick some cards from the pocket. Angel Answers Pocket Oracle deck here. Okay, we have your peaceful resolution. Yeah, the both of you are definitely going to be coming to some kind of peaceful resolution, where the both of you, you know, will be operating from like a heart-centered space. You know, I'm looking at the green agate here and really understanding each other on a deep level and being able to show up for each other and the way that the both of you deserve. Okay, and this is going to be happening in the near future. This is not too far off. Maybe you're just like, wow, like, is this going to take months for me to manifest? Like, what's going on? I'm actually seeing it's going to happen pretty soon. Obviously, that's like subjective to people. Some people might think a couple months is soon. Some people want things to happen in days. I'm just seeing like fixed moon. Maybe it could be happening during a fixed moon or a fixed sign season. Okay, I am getting like heavy Taurus energy, Pisces energy, Aquarius energy. So something could be happening during those seasons, okay? But it's going to be in the near future. It's not going to take too long. We do have your wait. I am seeing like, yeah, this is worth waiting for. It might be a little bit of a wait, but it's going to be worth it at the end of the day because it's going to be something that's sustainable and lasting, okay? We also have your within the next few weeks. Okay, I am seeing there's going to be some movement within the next few weeks. Again, I don't know if it's going to be a full-on, like, you know, like, let's get married right now or let's get into a relationship. I do feel like this person could at least be asking you on a date within the next few weeks. It's going to happen sooner than you know it. Again, this is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And this is, you know, obviously this time frame might not apply to everyone, but what I'm seeing here is that if you're continuing to do what you're doing right now, you're working on yourself, you're prioritizing yourself, you're investing in things that make you happy, you're doing things, buying things, self-care, whatever, you know, that makes you happy, you're on the right path here, okay? I'm seeing let this person reach out to you if you've already reached out to them or whatever. Just don't reach out to them unless you want to. If it's inspired action, sure, but I feel like this person wants to be the one to reach out to you. We have your perfect timing, so do trust the timing of this connection. Things are happening. Things are going to be unfolding in a very positive, peaceful, amazing way. Sometimes, you know, there's this like higher intelligence that, you know, we might not, that we all have within us, but let this higher intelligence do its thing. It's almost as if like, you know, you want to micromanage every single thing, do things in steps all the time, then, and you know, you might get like disappointed, right? Like if this person were to text you right now and then not text you a couple days later, how would you feel? You might have that temporary happy,ness, but are you going to be like happy, right? So like trust that, you know, for lack of a better word, like divine timing, which I think divine timing is a beautiful word or a beautiful phrase, whatever, but it's just like you get to dictate that timing within yourself, okay? We also have your remain positive that this is meant to work out, that this is meant to be, okay? We also have your opportunity, like this person is going to be finding an opportunity to be with you, to see you, okay? So I feel like they're waiting on the right time, the right, you know, opportunity to contact you, to be with you. Okay, so yeah, that is what we have for you, pile 3. I really hope this helps. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. You always have for you in your reality. I do want to let you know that I offer in-depth tarot readings as well as manifestation coaching, and I also do custom make subliminals. So if you're interested in any of these services, check out the link in the description box below where you'll find my website. You can sign up for those services through my website. And yeah, thank you so much. Love and light.